Hello friends, Pastor Michael here, just a week before Lent begins. And that kind of blows my mind. And Lent is a beautiful season of preparation where we prepare our hearts and minds to fully experience anew the grace Jesus showed towards us at the cross and empty tomb. But today, we're going to be having a conversation around small groups with Deb Ehrman. So you're really going to want to stick around for that. But first, here's some weekly connections for you. A starting point is one of the first steps you can take in getting involved and getting to know Christ Greenfield. So if you've recently joined our church community, we invite you to participate in Starting Point on Sunday, February 11th. During this time, you will get a glimpse into our beliefs, learn how to get connected and to grow, and find ways to also grow in your faith as part of this community. This will also be a great opportunity for you to get to know some of our pastors who join you for lunch there and other church leaders. And so head to christgreenfield.church/start to let us know you're coming. Next, we invite you to join us for Ash Wednesday services on Wednesday, February 14th. What a way to celebrate Valentine's Day, but to kick off Lent with Ash Wednesday. This is the beginning of Lent. It kicks off that season, as I mentioned, and it encourages us as followers of Jesus just to prepare our hearts and minds for Good Friday and for Easter. On Ash Wednesday, so February 14th, we'll have two services, one at 12 p.m. and then one at 6:30 p.m. at the Gilbert campus. Last, get ready for a night of impact and celebration at our Game Changer GALA on April 19th. Join us in supporting the Gilbert campus gym through an evening filled with fun and fundraising. The tickets go on sale February 18th, so mark your calendar and visit christgreenfield.church/gala to score your tickets, to get your spot, and let's make a difference together. All of the proceeds from the Game Changer Gala will go directly towards furnishing our gymnasium with essential equipment, including bleachers, stage, a score table, and sport equipment. Hello, welcome to CG Live. Pastor Michael here with the one and only Deb Ehrman, volunteer and leader extraordinaire.
Oh, no.
So excited to have you with us today as we have a conversation around small groups. But before we get to that conversation, Deb, just tell us a little bit about yourself and, how'd you get here to CG Live with me to talk about small groups?
Well, I am Deb Ehrman, and I started coming to Christ Greenfield about 3.5 years ago. At that time, I was dating Steve. And after a little while, we got married, and then I joined Christ Greenfield. So really, we could blame Steve for being
we're grateful for Deacon Steve for so many reasons, but marrying you was a great decision. So grateful.
Well, thank you. But I do have a passion for small groups. I know firsthand how hard it is to get to know people in a new situation, and so small groups is a way that you can do that. It's a means to get to know a few people at a time and build some stronger relationships.
Yeah, what's really interesting is I read this stat that in a church, if you know 7 to 8 people, if you're connected to 7 to 8 people, you feel like you're connected to the whole. Like the whole organization, and you feel like you belong, which is why getting those relationships and connections is so important. So for our listeners, just to lead them through this through a real clear way. First, I guess we could answer the question what is a small group? What is a small group?
Well, we like to say if you have 2 friends and you like getting together and sharing your faith and talk about Jesus and maybe share a meal, you are a small group. But typically they're more precise than that. They're usually 6 to 10 people that get together regularly, once a week, once every other week, and discuss God's word, share a meal. Maybe they serve together. Some of them serve at Tempe Table or La Mesa, the coffee ministry at church, things like that. They pray together. They encourage each other. They grow in their faith and help each other grow together.
Yeah, so some of you might already be in a small group and you don't even know it. And maybe you're thinking, well, I already do that. Well, if you want some like training or make it like a little more official, you can come talk to us and we can give you that next step.
Right.
If you're thinking like, man, I would love to be with a group of people around God's word or serving together again, you can reach out to us or check out the website. So now that we know kind of like what is a small group, like why small groups? Like why should somebody want to be a part of a small group?
Well, Christ Greenfield is a good-sized church, and
Right.
we have a wonderful church family. But we are spread out over several campuses, and it's easy to feel lost or disconnected. So it's a way to share your life with others. It's kind of a small church within a big church, right? So it's just a way to grow your faith and challenge others to grow theirs. It's a way to encourage each other, to share life's struggles and share life joys.
Yeah, I heard a pastor say once this way, like, as we grow larger, like the church, we also must grow smaller. So encourage like smaller gatherings, because kind of like what I'm hearing for the why is so that you're not alone.
Right.
And you don't walk
Right.
this life alone. You don't walk the difficult paths or even the good paths alone. You have other people in your life who can be with you. And then two, for you to nurture and grow your faith, almost kind of like iron sharpens iron. We
Exactly.
need each other to learn and grow in our faith. Faith is never an isolated island, right? Even when you look at Jesus, well, how he operated, right? He had his 12 disciples, and but also the way he prays, right? He says, "Our Father who art in heaven."
Right.
Right. Faith is always done as a collective, and so we need each other. And two, I think small groups is a place where you can be known.
True.
Like deeply known.
And share your thoughts and not have to worry about sharing them with a large group of people, but
Right.
get your questions answered or bring up a topic that's been bothering you and just have a
Yeah.
small, unique, small conversation about it.
That's really true. I mean, if you've ever been in like a big group setting, like a Bible study or whatever, and the pastor or teacher asks a tough question and it's like crickets.
Yeah, right.
You're like, oh man.
No one wants to share.
No one wants to share. Or if you have like this question that you really want answered, but it's a big group. And what if you sound silly? And 9 times out of 10, there's probably 2 or 3 people with that same question.
Exactly.
But in a smaller group, it is easier to like ask those questions, be curious, look into things that maybe are confusing. It is a much easier space to
Exactly.
do to do that. Who are small groups for?
Well, they're really for everybody.
Yeah.
There really isn't anybody that doesn't fit into a small group. It's easy to feel lost and disconnected. So when you're in a small group, you get to know those individuals really closely. And we have so many different small groups at church. There's ones for women, ones for men, ones for couples, one for couples with kids, 20-year-olds, snowbirds, or even combinations of all those. So everybody can join a small group. But it's not even just for church members. It can be for your neighbors. It's a great way to discipleship, right?
Yeah.
Because when you invite a neighbor, they may have a church home, they might not. And that might be their only connection to Jesus. So it's kind of
could be you.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, really exciting to like think about that. It's for everybody, no matter what stage of life you're at, path you're on, interests you have. There's some group for you.
And that group might change from time to time. Over the last 12 years, I've belonged to many small groups. Different seasons of my life have created different needs in my life. So I've had great experiences with small groups and feeling like I'm okay, even when I'm not so okay.
That's the beauty of having one another. Yeah. So coming up, February 11th, small group Sunday. Can you give us a picture? Like what does small group Sunday mean?
Well, we hope to encourage everyone to come out and visit the small group Sunday tables and see what small groups are all about. Learn a little bit about what we have to offer, and we'll help you find the group that fits you. We'll have leaders there and coaches there. Every leader has a coach. So no one's doing this by themselves. And a leader just doesn't mean a teacher. It just means someone who's willing to open their house and host the group. You might have a snack, you might have a meal, you might not. It might be at a coffee shop, it might be at a pizza place, but the leader just gathers everybody together. And so we'll help you find the right group that fits your time schedule. We have ones that meet at night or during the day or on the weekends. Some with kids, we actually offer babysitting. So if you have kids, we can help share those burdens of getting a babysitter so that you can still have your adult time and the kids are still there. So it's kind of perfect. But if you can't find a small group that fits your needs, then we'd love to help you start one. The coaches are there to help you through that process. We've got it spelled out. It's simple and easy and can even be fun. And it's a great way to challenge yourself. So we have all kinds of studies, so you don't have to worry about picking studies. Your coach can help you do that too. And so we're there to help you find a way to challenge yourself and grow in your faith and help others grow in theirs too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So February 11th, that Sunday between all the services, small group leaders and coaches will be around to answer questions, help you find a place. If you're interested in starting a small group, February 11th, you can talk to coaches and leaders on how to do that. In the meantime, you can go to our website and check out our small groups. You can even locate and find small groups on there on your own if that's what you're interested in. But really begin to think and pray if you're not yet in a small group to join one, start one, or maybe see the places where like you already have a small group and you can just formalize it, because really we want to walk alongside you and help you grow in your faith. And one of the primary places to do that is in a small group.
Exactly.
Deb, any last words of encouragement or anything?
Come see us. We're going to be having some popcorn and hot chocolate and coffee and having a good time. So I hope you can all come see us and get connected.
Thank you. Deb, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining us on CG Live.